Hello and welcome to this week's weekly pack challenge. I wanted to say right off the bat that I did have a little bit of a spoiler for this week's pack. I knew that there was Manta Ray and Dragon in the pack, so I tried to steer away a little bit from that just so that I wasn't influenced by the little bit of spoiler I had. Yeah, so starting off here, we had a bunch of ants and moths. That worked out great. I initially went to put the big ant at the front, but with moths in the pack, you don't want to put your big unit at the front, especially in the early rounds, just because, you know, there's going to be a ton of attack typically, and that's going to cause for whatever big unit you put at the front to die. I kind of took a look around, and it's like jellyfish would be nice, but leveling up into baboon, I figured that would be a decent way to do a little bit of scaling, so I decided to put that onto the elephant just because it has some decent base stats. Yeah, baboon is an interesting pet. I don't know fully how I feel about it. Like, it's supposed to be a pet that allows for pivoting, but like 1-2 doesn't feel great. Like, I know it's a little bit better than giraffe, but like for a buffing target, you typically want to target a specific pet, and the fact that it's like shifting as you're scaling up makes it a little bit rough. Here we immediately get access to what's it called? A pufferfish. We immediately get access to a pufferfish, which is very interesting. And then the best lettuce that you will ever see, we're getting 3 right off the bat for it. In one of the more recent patches, they made it so that it's the current tier or higher, which is really great. I think the baboon. If the baboon got the same sort of rework, it would make it a lot better, in my opinion. Yeah, it could make it more random, like hit the pufferfish or the squirrel, but I think I would prefer that over just like, oh, it has to be this tier exactly. And yeah, we're doing some elephant blowfish, very common, solid strategy. If I got a bison here, I probably would have swapped that in, but just because I didn't get early bison, I didn't end up going with that here. I probably would have swapped out the baboon for it. Another draw. Lettuce, this is only gonna hit one pet, the squirrel, so I don't take it at this point. And then I always think it's more important to level up the elephant before the blowfish, if possible. Just because, you know, it's getting more triggers onto the blowfish for like a single attack, and that seems very helpful for strategy-wise, you know? There's a lot of good pets here. There's nothing that I was particularly interested in. I forgot exactly how the cockatoo worked, but I now know that it's a faint trigger pet and not a hurt trigger pet, so there was nothing that I could use it on. And the last round of cows, so the first cow that I placed down, I should have put those buffs onto the elephant. The blowfish had enough health, so just getting more onto the elephant to make it last longer would have been the better thing to do. And there's the bison. Switching now, it's a little bit late. It's turn 10. Yeah, you can switch to it, but you either want to get it like level up into a bison or like the first turn of tier 4s. Otherwise, you're behind the curve for bison scaling, and it's while it's good, it sort of falls off. And that ink there actually prevents me from killing the falcon, which causes me to lose the round, which goes to show how important abilities are, you know? Here I should probably sell the cow, but I agreed. Double bison and manta ray. Interesting team. And here I'm pulling in the reindeer because I have 2 chocolates in the shop. And then, yeah, let's buff up the reindeer. Part of why I started to go for this is, you'll see later, I hadn't gotten level 3 reindeer yet. And so I was hoping that this would be, like, I seem to have pretty decent team here, and I wanted to try and go for it. I didn't remember exactly if the tomato worked with reindeer, just because the reindeer, it says before attack apply coconut, but then the tomato also says before attack deal 7 damage. So I didn't remember order of operations for this. Yeah, move the elephant closer to the front. And we see there that the tomato does work. So that does a little bit of chip damage. Doesn't help out here, but, you know, there's the hope. I should have gotten the tomato onto the squirrel. I don't know why I didn't. I think that was greed, to be honest. And here, I should have sold the cow for snail. That would have been plus 4/4 in stats. Almost as good as the, no, not quite as good as the 612, but you know. I wonder if the crane could work with the reindeer. I was kind of wondering that when I was rewatching through. Before they did the rework where, like, armor and stuff couldn't reapply onto the same pets. Here's the level up, but before the rework where armor couldn't reapply onto the same pets, I don't think it would have worked. It might work now. Actually, no, it wouldn't work because it applies attack and armor, so it would still apply the attack and take up the trigger. So I don't think it would work with the reindeer, which is a little bit unfortunate, but fine. I see about the cheese and I decide no. And we save the Nyala because if we level up this elephant, White Tiger doesn't do anything anymore. So we're gonna put in the Nyala in place of the White Tiger, but you see here that we die. So normally that's where I would wrap up, but I'm deciding from this week going forward, if I don't win on the first run, I'm actually going to go and provide a second run in which I do win. This happened to be my second run for this weekly pack, but I'll provide a second playthrough where I do win. Yeah, just because, you know, that's a little bit more interesting. Not a very strong starting team, but, you know, had to use the pets that were given to me. And then I could have gotten the bluebird, but I'm not really keeping any of these pets, so I decided to roll, try and get some level ups. Level up into clownfish, excellent pet to have. And lucky hit with the otter right back onto the same pig. And I'm keeping this otter at the front again for the moth to kind of absorb any low health, high tech units. Double jellyfish, definitely take that. And here I decide, okay, let's put both of the apples onto the jellyfish. We'll get an not oyster, sea urchin. We get the sea urchin to help take down the health a little bit. Another double jellyfish. And in the previous round, I saw that Nyala, and it's like, okay, I want to combine together the Vaquita and the Nyala, just because they're both trumpet things, and we can get a really buff golden retriever out due to that. So I do hold this Vaquita for a really long time, like much longer than I should have. sea turtle is like the companion to the horse. I kind of wish the seahorse had been the companion to the horse to do health. I don't know, that would have been funnier, but yeah, it's fine. You know, it all, like, both the abilities are there, but it just would have been interesting of horse and seahorse together. Bring in the Vaquita for the otter there. And we brought in the falcon just as sort of a pivot unit, try and get wind with it. And level 2 Vaquita, I'm trying to get the clownfish, but I don't in time, so I decided to level it up and just get the tier 5. Maybe it's a Nyala. It wasn't. Instead, we got the crocodile, which does help us draw that round. And here we go. So chocolate, and then we sell the level 2 pig, which gives us 4 gold for the Nyala. And I'm trying to decide the order here to basically, if the Vaquita ends up being the last pet at the back, its ability won't trigger before the golden retriever spawn. So it's not really good to have that at the back. Eventually I do get some protection and make it so that the Vaquita shouldn't end up at the end, but I could have actually played a little bit safer. It turned out fine, but I could have played a little bit safer in order to make sure that the Vaquita didn't end up at the very back, you know? I'm not really going for stats with the Nyala or the Vaquita, so I get rid of the clownfish for the cow, just pump in a little bit more stats. We face off against another Nyala Vaquita team. Unfortunately, I had big jellyfish at the front, so wasn't really a worry. I'm not keeping this cow, but if I put the potato on the crocodile and then put that at the back, that can absorb basically 2 crocodile shots and will help make sure to make it so that, you know, there's something at the back at least. Level 3 jelly. And here we have level 2 Nyala and level 3 Vaquita, which is great combo team. Let's see, that's 16 and then 1.5 times, so let's see, 16, 24, that's 40 trumpets. That's pretty decent amount. It's not quite as good as like level 3 Nyala mushroom, but it's still respectable. On this next turn here, I wasn't planning for using this pet in the build, but we level up into Cobra. And it's like, okay, we can start dumping some attack stats onto it. And I should have saved this onion to move it to the back. Like, honestly, that probably would have been the best strategy. But alas, I didn't. Because that would have also gotten it behind the big golden retriever, which would have been really good. But here we are on the last turn. We just go ahead and throw a popcorn on just for, you know, a little bit of extra stats. Nothing amazing, but something there. And there we go. Our golden retriever is just much bigger. I was hoping for the level 3 Nyala. I don't think I've gotten that achievement yet, but we got the level 3 Vaquita, which is super awesome tat. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so, and I will see you all next week. Bye bye, friends.